What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Got a little over 2 weeks is the making of this video before we get to Christmas. And one of my passions the last few years has been hanging up Christmas lights. And I have bought a lot of Christmas lights. Now, I'm a tacky Christmas light kind of guy. My neighbor next door, he's got a very classy setup. You know, some trees, some reindeer, a couple other light up ornaments. Looks incredible, very clean. Me, I like to buy these colored, multicolored lights and just wrap everything I can wrap. Trees, the house, the garage. I just wrap everything in the same lights. They're all the same multicolored lights for the most part. I do put a few of the white lights up on the porch just because my wife says it looks less cluttered and it looks better because we have white columns on the front porch, so it blends in a little bit better. But basically, what I ran into this year kind of shocked me a little bit. I've only been doing this for about 3 years, but over those 3 years, I would buy more and more Christmas lights each year. And so I keep them in tubs now, like these big tubs you can buy at like Lowe's or Home Depot. And I basically store them in those. I just roll them up as carefully as I can and put them away, and then I bring them out the next year, and of course I plug them in here in the garage, try to see which ones are working, which ones aren't. And this year was the first year where I had a significant amount of lights that just either half the string was out or the whole string was out. And I'm talking probably at least 40 strings of lights. And of course, these run anywhere from, I try to get them on sale. They usually run either $5 or $6 a box. So if you do the math on that, for a you know, like on the high end, you're looking at almost $250 worth of lights that did not work this year when I got them out of the container. So it was a kick to the gut, to say the least. Not so much because I was going to have to buy more lights, but just because, you know, it was going to set me back, because I like, once I get out here, I can usually run all of mine in the course of a day. So for the last couple of years, I've tried using one of these, and this is a AC voltage detector. They're, I guess, somewhat common if you do electrical work. And basically, I watched a video or two online, and they would basically take the string, and you would shove this in between the two wires to go under each bulb and look for where you didn't have voltage, and then that's usually where your bad bulb would be. Very, very low percentage, high stress, low percentage device as far as tracking bulbs. I fixed maybe 2 or 3 strings out of like 20 that I've tried doing this with. It's just very frustrating. It's really a simple, the process is simple, but it's just not effective. So I don't recommend, unless you have one of these already sitting around, you want to try it, you can certainly try it, but I didn't have any luck with this one, so I would not recommend it. So I got online again this year. I said, let me see if there's something new out that can help me fix this issue. And I came across this device here, and I'll show you here. It is the LED keeper right here. Fixes LED light sets. Now, the funny thing is it doesn't actually fix it, but it does help you diagnose it so you can fix it. So it's a little deceiving. I know there actually was, I think there's some sort of incandescent tool that's similar to this, came out years ago, where if you stuck a bulb in there, you could like rejuvenate the bulb. This doesn't do that, but this is way better. Now they do make these for incandescent bulbs, but I'm strictly LED now. That's a whole nother side story. But if you have not gotten into Christmas lights up to this point, do yourself a favor, skip over incandescent and go to LED. I'll show a picture of my house, maybe add a little video at the end of this video, and I'll show you how many lights I have this year covering my garage, my house, the entire front yard. I've got 2 tree trunks wrapped. I don't know how many, I haven't really counted how many strings I have, but every one of these lights are coming off of 2 outlets on my house. And the only reason I started using a second one was more logistical, because I needed to go to that side of the yard anyway. I could probably almost run all of these, even though I think there's supposed to be a limitation of about 40 strings or so for LED. I'm pretty sure I'm meeting or exceeding that at this point. Now, maybe the bulbs just get dimmer, but unlike incandescent bulbs where they just literally will trip your breaker at a certain point because there's too much load on the circuit, LEDs won't do that. At least I haven't got to that point yet. So going back to this guy here, best $30 you will spend, bar none. It is incredible. I got this off of Amazon. I think Walmart and some other websites had the exact same unit here. I don't know. I think it says LED Keeper. It's made by Ultra Lit Tree Company out of Glenview, Illinois. So, but it is made in China. I was going to say made in USA, but it's actually made and fabricated in China. So take it for what it's worth. It's a really good device though. This thing does everything. So it has a spot on here to check fuses. Now we'll tell you that I don't even know if I had one fuse out of the ones that I fixed. Fuses are not a problem for me. It's the bulbs. And I'll show you why in a second, but there is a spot here you can test for bulbs. Here's a spot where you check for bulbs. This is really nice too, because it's so simple. You don't even have to pull the trigger. You literally just stick the bulb in the slot, and if it lights up, it's a good bulb. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's got this thing on the end here, which I'll be honest, I didn't use a whole lot, but I probably should have. I have pretty strong fingernails, so I can pull the bulbs off, but some of these bulbs are really difficult. And if you don't have fingernails, or if if your tips of your fingers aren't that strong and you just want to use this, this helps wedge that bulb out of the socket and get it out a little easier. This device comes with a 9-volt battery. It's got a very strong LED on here. I have saw some of the reviews on Amazon say that the bulb was fairly weak when it came with it. So if this bulb doesn't light up really bright red like that, I would recommend putting a new 9-volt in just in case. This has a female end on it, so it's kind of dummy proof. You're only going to plug this in to the string of lights. The string of lights are not going to be plugged in. Obviously, this is why I think they made this end female, because it prevents you from plugging the string in for people that maybe get confused and they think, well, maybe I have to plug the string in to an outlet and then plug this into the string at that point. No. This 9-volt battery will light up these LEDs just fine. And so basically the male end of the LED string of lights will plug into here, and then you just begin troubleshooting at that point. So I think that's about all I got right now. Actually, hold on, I do have a bulb here I wanted to show. This is one of two types of bulbs. See if I can get, there we go. You see it's got a flap on it. There's mainly with the types of bulbs, I only buy basically two types of bulbs, but it doesn't matter in this case. I will say you want to save every one of these. Every box of bulbs you get, Christmas lights, will come with 2 spare bulbs. Please hang on to these, because I can tell you from experience, you're going to go through them pretty quick. So if you can, hopefully this will show up on camera. Actually, if I can get it in there the right way, you can see it light up. These are polarity specific. There's a positive and a negative. So if you stick it in one way like this, it doesn't light up. But if I turn it around and stick it in the correct way, you can see it light up. So this is a great tool. If you happen to pull a bulb and you put a new one in the string thinking you found it and it doesn't fix your problem, you can take the one you pulled out and test it and you go, oh, that one's actually good. So maybe you just missed a step somewhere. The major failure with every one of these is going to be these little metal strips on the side. There's one on one side and one on the other. Every single one of these is because one side or the other will break off, and they're just very brittle, tiny pieces of metal. So that they're not, even though these are rated for outdoor use, they do have their limitations, and the main one is that strip breaks off. I don't think any of the LEDs actually go bad. It's just that one or two of these strips on the side are gonna fall off on you, and you're gonna wanna, at that point, just get one of these out and replace it. Now, as far as bulbs, or Christmas lights, I should say, I keep it very simple. These are the 100 LED light strings by GE right here. And like I said, these are LED. If this says here connect up to 25 sets, I can attest that you can do more than 25. I think that's probably because they do start dimming a little bit, but it's so dark in the neighborhood that I live in, because I live back kind of in the boonies, you would never know that there was an issue with that. Of course, these are indoor-outdoor use. This has a 3-year warranty, but after using this device, it's going to be easier to buy this device and fix them yourself than to try to send these back and deal with that whole process. The other kind that I get are the 100 count LED from, these are Holiday Living. These are from Lowe's. I get both of these from Lowe's. These, when they run them on sale, I believe are $5.99 a box, and these are $4.99. These look almost identical. The one that I just held up and tested in the device is this one. This is the one that has the little flaps that I showed you on the light. This one doesn't have flaps. It's just a different type of light. These bulbs won't fit in here, and these really don't fit in here. They just, they unfortunately are not interchangeable. But like I said, as long as you hang on to all your spare bulbs that come in the boxes, you should be set. I got a whole tray of them over there that I've got left over from previous years and from this year. So I think we're at the point now where we're ready to fix a string. I actually had so many of these go bad that I actually were using some of them in the yard for my display as extension cords, because it's, at that point, it still passes AC. They just, the lights don't work. So this particular string, I can't remember, I'll have to check it when I plug it in. Either half of this one doesn't work or the whole thing doesn't work. If the whole thing doesn't work, it means that there's at least one bad bulb on one half and at least one bad bulb on the other, because the way these lights are built, it's basically 2 strings built into one. And when I was having this issue where an entire string wouldn't light up, I'm like, I'll just use it as an extension cord, because it's basically 25 feet long, and 25-foot long extension cords can be a little pricey, especially if you need several of them like I do for a Christmas display. So I just started using them as an extension cord. So I'll plug this one in real quick and we'll see how many work, and then we'll take it from there. All right, I just plugged this in and not one single light works. So this will be a really good test to show you. I'm gonna try to set this camera up really well, so as I troubleshoot these, you'll be able to get the gist of it. But like I said, this one string is actually 2 individual strings that are just linked together. And so you will troubleshoot it as if it were 2 strings instead of 1. But generally, it's hard to tell where the middle point is. So we're just gonna try to figure out how to split it up, and then we'll once we fix one side, it'll be a lot easier. Once we get one side going, you'll be able to clearly see where the halfway point is. But we'll go ahead and start here, and I'm gonna readjust the camera, and we'll go ahead and plug this tool in, and we'll see if we can get this piece fixed here, and we'll have one more to add to the collection here. So let's get set up. All right, I have put this string from end to end to find a halfway point. And so now I'm working on the end that's closest to the plug here. So I've got, you see, as I got the tool plugged into the string here, and the best way I could describe this is you're gonna do the divide and conquer method. So I took the half that I'm currently working on and I divided it in half, because that's how you're gonna wanna work on these strings. I would say a majority of the strings that I had that were bad, only half the string was out, the other half was lit up. So basically you take that half that isn't lit up and you split it in half, because you're trying to figure out if the bad bulb is on the left of that or to the right of that. Now, I haven't shown y'all the other pieces that came in the kit here. I think I got them in my pocket. And what these do, these are just 2 clips. And this helps you narrow down where you've troubleshot the issue. So once you figure out that the problem is everything's good from this point forward, then you clip this one here and you start working your way towards where the issue is. And then once you go beyond the issue and you find out that side of the string is good, you put this one here, and then you're just working in a confined space. And if that sounds a little confusing, just hang tight, and we're gonna see if we can show you right here. I'm just gonna start at any spot. Now, when you grab a bulb here, you're gonna see there's gonna be 3 wires. You got the 2 coming in, and then you actually, well, I'll take it back. I guess technically you have 4 wires. You got 2 wires that bypass the bulb you're working on, and then you have a wire coming in and you have a wire going out. Now, it doesn't matter which side you clamp onto. Let me go ahead and scoot a little closer here. That way you can really see what I'm doing here. So there's your 2 wires that are going in and out of the bulb, and then here's the 2. These other 2 are actually the other part of the string. They're just interwoven. So you don't want to mess with these. We're only concerned with these. So I'm going to clamp on. I'm just going to pull off a little bit here, and I'm going to clamp on right there. Now, the clamp is actually right here. And if you see there's a mechanism there. And what that's doing, it's actually pinching the jacket just enough, not to cut it, obviously. It's going to cut a little bit into the jacket, but you're just trying to penetrate the jacket enough to get into the wire so it can actually make contact, but it's not going to cut the wire in half or anything like that. Now, the one thing that I've learned that for me, I was trying it like this initially, but I find this more effective for me, working it upside down like this. It's strictly up to you. But the way that I work it here is I can get this in here, and I can actually see what I'm doing right here with this, as opposed to having it this way and then working down. So just for me, it's a preference. It'll work either way. One thing I'll also say is if you don't see anything light up initially, just keep squeezing several times. It may take 4 or 5 squeezes of the trigger before you see any lights light up. But the way that I have not tested this string yet, I just want to make that clear ahead of time. I don't know what's wrong with this, but if what I do is correct, either this bulb is going to light up, meaning that the problem is going that way, or this bulb is going to light up because I'm on this side, on the opposite side of this bulb. If this bulb lights up, then this side going this way is good, and the problem is this way. So this is going to help us narrow down which direction to go. So I'm going to squeeze, and as you can see, this whole side from the orange bulb over, let me get it in the light. Let me actually get back here. See how this whole side is lighting up? This side going this direction. Every one of these lights. Matter of fact, if I hold this, keep in mind, this is just a 9-volt battery. This won't hurt you. So doing this, I can see if I go that the last light in this string is this yellow light. This red light here isn't lighting up. So I know this is the official halfway point. There's actually a piece of paper right there. So in this particular brand, which I'm pretty sure is a GE, if you see this little piece of paper, that lets you know that's the halfway point. So now I know at this point that every bulb, this entire string from this side forward is good. So it means my problem is actually between where I plugged in the device in here, which is really not that many. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna take one of these clips and I'm gonna put it here. And that lets me know now that everything from here to here, there's an issue. So that's not really that many. If I can get back a little bit and show you, everything from here to here is now what we're troubleshooting. So now I'm gonna take this small section and I'm gonna divide it in half. So I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm really at the halfway point here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll show you again. I'm gonna grab this green one here. It's got a wire coming in and out, and then it's got these two. We're not gonna worry about these. We're gonna pull them back. I'm gonna go under here. I'm gonna clamp this one, and then I'm gonna clamp, and now everything from here to the plug is now good. So every one of these lights coming out of the device where I have it plugged in is working up to here, to this red one. So now I'm gonna take and undo this. You see the lights go out, and I'm gonna take the other clamp, if I can find it. Oh, dropped it on the floor. And I'm gonna put that here. So now we have narrowed it down to this many, which is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 12 or so lights. So now I'm gonna go to the halfway point between that, and I'll take this orange one here, and I basically just grab these other 2 wires and pull up to expose the one going in and out of this orange. And now we will take the device, stick it in here, clamp. Now everything going in that direction is lit up. So now I can take this clip and move it even closer, undo here, stick it there. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights here. Let me zoom back. See, that's all I got left now. So I'm gonna take the divide and conquer, grab this yellow one, squeeze. Now everything, you see those are working. The orange, green, and red that are to that point. So now I'm gonna take this clip and I'm gonna move it over here. Now you can get bold and you can go closer to one side or the other to see if you can narrow it down, but the divide and conquer method generally works pretty good. So now I have an even number here. So I'm gonna try this blue one here, and I'm gonna clamp onto this side, and we should have our bad bulb here very quickly. So I'm gonna squeeze, and now you can see these 2 to this side are lit up. So I'm gonna move this clamp here and move it here, which means now at this point, it's either this yellow one or this blue one on this side of the lights here. So the easiest way for me to tell now, because I've already pulled this blue one back and tested it going this way, is I'm gonna test the other side of the blue. And if I put the device here and this yellow light lights up, then I know that that's the problem. And if I clamp here and this blue light lights up, then I know for a fact that this is the bad bulb. So let me clamp on here, and as you can see, the yellow light lights up along with all the ones down past it. So that confirms that the blue light is indeed the bad one. So might as well try it since I got it here. I'm gonna use this thing here and see if I can use it. There we go, it popped right off. Man, I should have been using that from the get-go. I was tearing my fingertips up. So I'm gonna pull this out. Now in this case, both of the bulbs, as you can see, if I can get it up there, that has the metal strip and that has the metal strip. So I'm gonna sit that down. I got my tester here, and I know I always forget which side's the positive and which is the negative, but I'm gonna try it in both cases. So it doesn't light up this way and it doesn't light up that way. So this is just a bad bulb. And I had a lot of these as well where the piece didn't, oh, well, funny enough, look at that, it's broke. So this one was just physically on there, but as soon as I went to test it, it fell off. So that actually was the problem. So I can tell that this is a GE because it doesn't have the flap. The one I showed you earlier in the video had a flap that stuck up. This one, that's just a little notch, but the other one had a much longer flap that pushes over and locks it into place. These just kind of push into place. So let me grab my spare GE bulb down here just a second, and which I got right down here in the bag. And let's see, I got 2 bags here. This one has the flaps, so that's gonna be the other type. Here is the GE bulbs here. I'm gonna take, actually I have a blue one here, so let's go ahead and put a blue in for a blue. Let's do that. So as you can see, that one, same type of connector. I like to do this all live, just so people know that there's nothing weird going on here. And if I put this one in, there you see it light up. So let's stick this one in, and then we'll plug it in. Well, I won't even make a cut in the video. I'm gonna even leave the clip here, and we'll go ahead and stick the bulb in. Here, click into place. All right, and then I'm gonna unplug the device from the string, And then when I plug this into my extension cord right here, we should see this whole string light up. So let's, boom, just like that. I'm gonna cut this light off just so it darkens up a bit. And there you got it. Every one of them are lit up. Every one on this string has been fixed now. So what I'll do is, as you can see, every one all the way down to where I got it plugged in the floor here is lit up. If I work my way over to that little piece of paper that I told you about, as you can see, there's the last good bulb, there's a little piece of paper. So now we know this is the halfway point. So I'm gonna take my clip, because this is how you'll do your strips where only half is working, is once you plug the lights in, you'll see where the last one's lit in. So I'm gonna put one clamp there. The other clamp I'll just leave down here for the time being until I figure it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the lights from the power strip. So those are gonna go out now. I'm gonna plug it back into the device. And now we will go to, as you can see down here, there's the far end of the cable there. I'm gonna try to just eyeball the halfway point. We'll try with this blue one. I'm gonna cut my light back on so you can see a little bit better. I'll grab this wire here, pull these two down. That's the easiest way to do it. Expose the two that are going in and out of the string here, and then we're gonna stick our device in. Like I said, this particular string was very easy. Like first pull, everything lights up. I'm telling you, just so you don't get frustrated, some of the strings that I have, I don't know if they're old and the jackets have gotten hard, but it took several pulls of the trigger to break through that jacket to make contact. Don't worry if you gotta do that. It's just the way some of them are. This one, for some reason, very easy to penetrate, and it's, if they all did this, I'd have got through them a lot quicker. But here we go. We're gonna see if we can divide and conquer here. Gonna pull the trigger, and there you go. You see all of these are lit up, and they're going basically towards where I have that first clamp. So now I'm gonna take that clamp, since I'm already working my way towards the end, and I'm gonna put it right here. So I'll move that, put it here, and then we're gonna divide it again. And I'm gonna go, I'll just stick with blue for now. We'll pull this one out. We're gonna put the tool in, and took a couple pulls. All right, we're still good in that direction. Everything going that direction is good. So I'm gonna take this clip I got and move it in this spot. And so now we know everything between here and the end is good. That's how quick this can go. And so I'm gonna go ahead and find the middle spot here. Let's try a red this time. We're gonna pull these two down, expose those two. We're gonna clip, pull, and now see, now everything going towards the end is lit up. That's how power efficient these LED lights are, that a 9-volt battery will light this whole string up this bright. It's pretty incredible. So now I'm gonna take my other clip and put it right here. What did I do with that fella? Oh, it's right here. So now I know that I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bulbs now that I can do. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 over. We'll grab this green one here. We'll take it and we'll pull it down, and we'll clamp on here. And let me see. Oh, we got it to light up finally. It's kind of hard to see there, but those three are lit up: the blue, the yellow, and the red right there. So I'm going to move this one over. And so now we have a yellow, blue, orange, and green. So let's do the blue. That's been good for us. Just gonna pull that down and pull the trigger. And those two are good, the green and orange. So gonna let go. And now at this point, it's really simple because it's either this blue or this yellow. So this one is easier to get to. And if I clamp here and this lights up, then obviously this one's bad. If I clamp here and that one lights up, then we know that one's bad. So let's place your bets. You got a 50-50 shot. Is it gonna be blue or is it gonna be yellow? And it is going to be the yellow. The blue is lighting up, so we know the yellow is the bad one. So I think my other spare bulb for this one, I forgot where I put it now, was a red. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. All right, so there's my spare bulb. I'm going to take this guy and use that piece again on the end because that is a lifesaver. I should have been using this from the get-go to save my fingernails because these things are on there good. All right, that guy's gone. I was gonna test him, but we know he's bad. So then I'm gonna go ahead and pop this red one in. These things, boy, that. Now, I will tell you, I don't know what's going on. This is the same spare that I just used, the blue and the other end of this string. This doesn't want to go in. I don't know, I didn't occur to me until just now, but some of these, I don't know if the colors are made to go in the same spot. In other words, I just pulled a yellow out. I don't know if some of these are slightly different in size. Like if I were to pull this good red one out and put this brand new one in there, it'll probably click right in. So I'm gonna pause this just for a second and go over to my stash and see if I can find a yellow that goes to the GE lights. And I'm gonna see if it'll click in there easy because I'm giving this all I got and it just doesn't wanna go in. So let's solve that once and for all. All right, I am back and let's see. This is the bad bulb I picked up off the floor. Here's a brand new bag. And as you can see, they are the same color. Haven't opened it yet. Just want to show everybody what I'm doing here is on the up and up here. So this isn't really, I don't know if it doesn't look yellow. It's almost a yellowish orange, but there's an orange there. So I guess this would be considered yellow. So I'm gonna pull this guy. You can see how hard I put him in there. It's hard to pull out. So here goes the new one of the color that I pulled out. Let's see if it goes in easier than the red. Look at that. There's something to that. I don't know why they would do that, but that click right in. So I guess that's something we learned together today. That's the reason that blue one went in so good, because I've replaced it with the blue. Why GE would make different colors go in better than others, even though this is the same manufacturer, is kind of beyond me. But I guess that's a lesson learned. But now I'm gonna leave these tips on here, but we're gonna go ahead, do it live. We're gonna plug this whole string in and we'll see now if it works. And when I started this video, none of these worked. And now, as you can see, let me cut this light off. Here's the end. And we'll just keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, got a little tangle here. And then boom, boom, boom. And as you can see, there's the where it's plugged in at. So that's it. That's the ticket right there, folks. I know I'm forgetting something here. So that is really all there is to it. I will tell you, it's easier if you're just doing a half a string, because you're just doing what we did, but only half. And I will tell you that, once again, these bulbs for these are different. They have the flaps, they won't go in, vice versa. As you saw on these, that you have to almost find the color that you're replacing. I remembered it after I just did it just now that I had this problem. I'll be honest, some of the bulbs I just shoved in as hard as I could and hope that they won't fall out. But if they do fall out, now I know that I have to put a specific color that was originally in it. It's weird that they would make them like that, but that's just the way it is. This is the last thing I'll add, and we'll wrap it up. And of course, if anybody has any questions, please put them down. But I'm telling you, this tool is a lifesaver. The one thing that you can do, a lot of folks might be watching this going, I have never saved a spare bulb that have came with these. I've just thrown everything in the trash and just kept the strings themselves. What I ended up doing, because I didn't actually have There was one type that I didn't have enough spare bulbs for. I can't remember. I think it was the GE actually, but it might have been a little bit of both. But what I ended up doing is I actually took a string of each that were bad already, and I used them for spare bulbs. So that's something that you can do if you have, like I did. I don't know if I've stated it in this video yet, but I sat in my family room over the course of 2 nights, and I fixed over 3 dozen of these strings in the comfort of my home with an extension cord and this tool and some spare bulbs, and that was it. So instead of boxing up a bunch of these and trying to send them back to the manufacturer, I don't know how many weeks that would take, but if you're like me and you're starting into November, you may not even get something back from the manufacturer in time to even hang them. So to me, it's $30 well spent. I've done all of these on the same 9-volt battery because these consume so little bit of power that just that 9-volt battery is good enough for testing. So, but if you didn't hang on to the bulbs, just take one string for each type that you have and just use it for spare bulbs. And every time you need one, you just pop one out. I mean, there's 100 lights on each. Yeah, it's 100 lights on each string. So that's a lot of spare bulbs. So if you didn't hang on to the spares, don't worry about it. Just use each one as a sacrifice towards fixing the rest, and you'll be good to go. So if anybody's got any questions, I think I covered everything. Like I said, there is a separate one for incandescent, but if you're new to Christmas lights, I would highly recommend going to LED. It's just a phenomenal way to go. And like I said, at the tail end of this video, we'll go ahead and I'll try to put up some video of what my house currently looks like. I hope to add to it each year, but I hope y'all enjoy it. So thanks. Have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, here's the finished product. Now, not counting the trees here, because I just did those this year with new lights. Everything else you see here, the house wrapped around the yard, my garage over there, both sides of the house and the front. I would say if you take about at least a quarter of those, if not more, are all repaired lights that were not working this year when I took them out to use them. Maybe even close to a third, to be honest with you. It's unreal how many lights that I have here that actually didn't work when I took them down this fall to start getting ready. So definitely worth the $30. So for sure, if you're looking to repair some Christmas lights, go ahead and pick you up one of these. I don't think you'll be disappointed whatsoever. Y'all have a great Christmas.